Welcome to this week's Office Hour Calls. We do this every single Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, aka market time. If you are watching on Zoom, welcome. We have a few people here already. I know people tend to trickle in later. This is a call we do every single week where I talk about what the market is doing now. We look at the options bot portfolio, see if any one of our bots need to be changed, what needs to be added. We look at the leaderboard, all that stuff, and then we open up to Q&A and I do my best to answer all of your questions. This is a private live call for our Oat Unlimited members. These are people who have the unlimited plan because they want personalized help to help them build out their options bot portfolio, to understand what to do in every market, things like that. This is also being live streamed now onto YouTube for other Options Auto Trader members to watch, but I will only be answering the questions from Zoom, just so you guys know. Anyways, let's dive in. We always start out with the market overview. What is the market doing? We can dive into trading view in a second, but here's a screenshot that I took of it about 30 minutes ago. I assume it's about the same. The S&P 500 futures market, we've been trending down recently. Nothing crazy in a red day. Like we haven't had a crazy single red day. It's just been consistently trending down. But we did find some support, at least for right now, at the 6,600 level, which, as I mentioned last week, was my bearish level that we're watching. So what is the market trend? When we analyze the market trend, we look at the market analysis indicator, which is available on TradingView on my profile image you can use there. But inside of this zone, we look at, mathematically speaking, where are our bullish trends? And that's this green zone. We're inside of this green zone. We tend to stay in it for 2 years. When the market tends to trend higher, we do see pullbacks, we do see push-ups higher, but overall, when we're in this green zone, we are in a long-term uptrend. So currently we are inside of this, so we are in a bullish trend, but we are definitely leaning more on a bearish slide. So here's my thoughts. Our trend change level is 6,600. What does that mean? We're currently bullish, but if we break and close below 6,600, that is going to be our sign to start activating and using bearish bots. Now, all Oat Unlimited members have access to our private trend following settings inside of the Options Auto Trader, which means the way that your bots are set up right now, and I'd help you set up on our initial onboarding call, is that they will automatically switch over to bearish bots once we break below around 6,600, probably a little bit above it. As you can see, the middle line is slightly above 6,600. We'll start entering the red zone. But as soon as we close below that, the bullish spots will turn off. It will still manage those current trades, but it will only start allowing bearish spots to start activating. Once we break below 6,600, Oat Unlimited members, is nothing you need to do. But keep in mind, if you don't have those special settings enabled yet, then you want to go in and enable bearish spots below 6,600. Now, again, all this is being done by the conflict in Iran. So we'll see how that ends. Again, if that concludes, as something comes to a definite conclusion, no doubt the market will spike back up and we'll see good positions. But for right now, a lot of uncertainty. Now, our options bot portfolio is made up of two main bots, to say, with some additions. We have two main bots. We have a main bullish spot, long-term bullish, that makes money in bullish markets. We have a bearish spot that makes money in bearish markets. And when we run those simultaneously, we're able to take advantage of all market trends, or at least long-term trends in the market. And so the allocation for me personally in this account that you're seeing here, 65,000 is in options bots. Those typically make $3,000 a month. As of right now, it's made nothing because of the market phase I'm about to explain. We have about $90,000 in SGov, which means bonds, so that we have the extra cash in the account generating money, but at a very risk-free rate. Then we have $45,000 in cash for safety. So here are my thoughts. We typically use our options bot portfolio to profit in all directions. Now, we mainly use option selling strategies. When you are an option seller, you make money from one of two ways. You make money from either time decay or direction, right? If we're trading our bearish bot or bearish strategies, those only make money when the market drops. Our bullish bots really only make money quickly when the market goes higher. So if we're in a phase like we are right now, where the market's very neutral, very slightly, I should say, a very slight downtrend, then we're not making money on direction, which is the fastest way we can make money. Instead, we're having to rely on profiting from time decay, which is a lot slower to profit. So with that said, If you're not hitting your profit targets, like I have been typically up until about a month ago, we were just consistently hitting profit targets every week, every couple weeks, and it was nice. That's the way it was basically through all of 2025. But here in 2026, we're mainly profiting on time decay, which is slower. So just reset your expectations that we're not going to be closing trades out every 1 to 2 weeks. It's going to take more 30 to 40 days to actually close these trades out because they're only making money on time decay. So I just want to reset your expectations that again, there's two ways option sellers make money. Right now, we are in the time decay method, not in direction. Now, again, if the market spikes up, we'll have both time decay and direction on our favor, and we'll see all those trades we've been holding for a while close out for profits quickly. But right now, we are only profiting on time decay, which takes, as the profit indicates, time decay takes more time. Just wanted to put that out there. Nothing wrong with our bot, nothing wrong with our setups. It's just how it works in these type of markets. All right, bot overview. Let's look at the leaderboard right now. What are the top bots performing? Now, just to clarify, the leaderboard only looks at bots running on live accounts that are placing live trades. And I'd say all that to say these are not ideal entry points for paper accounts that aren't simulating real environments. These bots are only looking at live accounts. So we have in the top three for the overall month, the biweekly Rainmaker, both making about 4,400 each. So congrats to Bill, and I don't know the other name. We also have Scott, who is a member of the Unlimited program with the GC running a 112 on GC, made about $3,800 so far this month, which is really good. We have an ES Strangle, which again, basically what a biweekly Rainmaker is on Mid Hat. Top number 4, about $3,000. Congrats, Mid Hat. It's also one of our members here. We have our SPX 1DTE call credit spread, VIX above 18. Don, I worked with Don before. He is not an Unlimited member, but he was one of the beta testers who joined about 2.5 years ago. We worked to set up this bot. Essentially, what this bot is, it initiates a call credit spread as soon as VIX breaks above 18. Now, why is this? Typically, VIX is below $20, which means we're low volatility environment, normal environment, markets trending higher, all that. But he wanted some protection to make money that, hey, if the market gets a bit more volatile, that I have a way to make money to the downside. And so he created a call credit spread that is dependent not on market direction, but dependent on volatility, VIX itself. So VIX is above 18. That bot is treated very well. You can see here he's made about $2,500 in the last 18 days from that bot. We have Mamuka, who deployed his bearish bot early, which is good for him, made about $1,800. And then we have Rashid, SPX 1DT, Aaron Condor, about 1,800 as well. This week so far, we have bi-weekly Rainmaker at the top, making about 10 grand, really good. David making about 5,000 from the ES, and then Joshua making about 5,000 with the Ready Steady Retire. Again, this is only this week from the 16th all the way up to now the 18th. The last 3 days, the profit and loss change on these bots are basically favoring the bullish spots. Why? Because over the last couple of days, we've rebounded, right? We've had to move higher, so those are recovering. Anyways, top bots over those. My thoughts. Again, our options bot portfolio is solid, right? Bullish bot, bearish bot. Now, that is the portfolio most of you guys will be running up until 100,000, 150, even 200 grand. That's going to be your main bots. As soon as you start expanding past 200 grand, that's where we start adding on more diversification. That looks like things like GC 112, crude oil 112, adding a bi-weekly Rainmaker into the mix. So right now you're seeing these diversification bots perform very well, but typically these bots only perform well for 1 to 2 months every 2 years, right? So we're just in the time that these diversified bots work very well, but it doesn't mean we need to stop what we're doing and go all into them. It just means that as we scale up, start with bullish, bearish, and as we scale, we need to be able to layer on these additional bots so that when we get into these weird market phases, we have ways to make money as well. So again, bullish, bearish should be the default for every options auto trader user. Again, I can't force you guys what to do, but that's what I would recommend. And then as you start to scale and as you have extra money past 100 grand in the account, then you can start diversifying bots, which means different assets and different strategies. The bi-weekly Rainmaker would be a diversification of strategy. And then the GC or CL strategy would be a diversification of asset. So anyways, That's our typical spill that we do on the week. I hope you learned something or at least caught up to date on the market. Would love to get to your questions. Please put them inside the chat. Looks like we got George on here, Kaylin on here, or Callan on here, Maria, Tron, and Vera. I would love to be able to answer any questions you guys have. Feel free to put it in the chat. I now have the chat pulled up, and I'll be here to answer any questions. Stay as long as you guys have questions. Yeah. Flight red day to day, but overall we are bouncing at that 6,600 level after forming support. The only issue here, again, I'm just talking to fill space. Feel free to put your questions in the chat. The only issue that we have here is that the highs are getting lower. So you see here, we are forming a support at this level, but the support doesn't mean much since we didn't get above our previous high. We had a high here, we had a high here, and this next high that we wanted up after it come up, right? So we had a down move, an up move, and that formed a high, a down move, an up move, this formed a high, and the highs aren't getting higher. That's something to watch out for. Okay, Maria has a question. I'm having trouble with the buying power limit, as some others have mentioned. Is that something you're working on, or do I need to send in a help request? I'm not too aware of a buying power limit right now. Could you please explain what the issue is? And I would love to look into it. Yeah, so maybe a help desk request would be useful. That will immediately get forwarded to me. But if you're talking about, let's say you have the bearish spot and you're trying to turn the bearish spot on, that was a known issue that's been solved because the bearish spot, if you have it set as a bearish spot type, it won't let you enter unless it's a bearish environment. So if you try to manually trigger it, it would stop that. But that's been fixed. But yeah, either let you know more here, and I would love to dive into it right now and get that fixed. Otherwise, also send in a help request. I was just trying to place a new bullish request. Yeah, no, I don't know what that is, Maria. Send that request in right now. I'm also going to write it here on my notepad right here. Bullish. Was it a manual entry or no? New bullish request. Bullish issue. Yes, manual issue. Manual. All right, yeah, send in a request. I'll also, as soon as this ends, look into this for you and make sure. Mary says, can you please show us the settings for bearish bot to make sure it's enabled and good to go when the market closes below? Yeah, again, the market analysis indicator shows us the 4 different zones of the market, right? So we have the green zone here. This is our bullish level, bullish market here. If we go below and we're coming from above, this is bearish, meaning that if we go from top to down and we enter in this red zone, this makes it bearish. Okay, so we have bearish and bullish. Up here is where we call mix, where we primarily run bullish, but we also start layering on bearish hedges. This is because we don't want to fight the trend. If it's continuing to go higher, we want to let it go higher, but we also want to be aware that we are in a very overextended point. So the market pulls back. We want to have hedges ready. So this is a bullish and bearish environment. Now here is a bullish environment because we've been overextended to the downside. We're now hitting our lows. We're going to bounce. And so when that's the case, we're going to enter in bullish here. And if it arrives from here inside of this zone, it's now bullish because we're recovering. So those are the different zones. I explain those zones because these are the zones that the options auto trader looks at inside of our trend following settings. So when I'm in here and I go into, let's say, the bearish spot to give you a reference, bearish spot into the settings, underneath entry rules, when the bot enters, you guys have access to, as unlimited members, these trend following settings, which basically look at this exact indicator right here. And so the bearish bot means it's going to follow our playbook. If it goes down below here, it's going to enter the bearish bot, which starts right here at roughly 6,600, slightly above 6,600, about right here, right? So this is where the bearish bots, if it closes below, will start activating. And so when I mean closes below, it means the market has to close below that level because sometimes we just dip into that level and pull back out. And it's not a full entry into this zone. I have a bearish bots will deploy here at 100%. It will also start layering on positions, not fully, but layer on some here as well. So if it's a bearish bot designation, like it is right here, then it will enter during this point and this point for you automatically. If you would like, you can also manually set it. So you can remove this bot type and you can set it to bearish zone, which is this red zone, and it will enter there as well. But yeah. Most of you set up the portfolio as we all set it up, which means you have a bearish bot type. And that bearish bot type means that it's going to enter as soon as the market closes into this red zone. So that's when your bearish spots will start entering. Also, and we talked about this before. If you're ever nervous with the market turning around sooner and you want more protection, you can always click on this plus button and manually initiate a bearish trade right now so that you can start getting in those hedges. You don't want to wait for that 6,600 level, which I know is an example here of Mamuka. Where do you go? Right here, Mamuka bearish bot. He triggered off one of the bots early. So again, he died our coaching program. He has a bearish bot. So it's the same bot that's going to start working out under 6,600, but he wanted to start it early. So he went into manual. He triggered it to have some protection to the downside starting now. And so that worked out for him. And yeah, so that answers that question. Vera says, what is the significance of enabling automatic buying power? Is it based on the bullish trades open? Yeah, great question. So if we look at here in the settings again, just to clarify, if I come in here, this window gets my way, Zoom stuff takes over my whole laptop screen. Underneath entry rules, underneath trend following setting, can we enable bearish bot? This is what enables the entry of it based on the indicator. But that's only one level of our strategy, is entering based on where the market is. It's level number one. But there's a second phase for our strategy, which is how we allocate funds. Remember how I said that when we're inside this extreme zone, that we run bullish and bearish simultaneously, but mainly bullish, right? So 80% bullish, 20% bearish, right? So we do have some hedges on, but it's mainly running bullish. When you enable automatic allocation, that's where it will switch the buying power between both bullish and bearish. So when you enable that, that's when it looks at both of the bots and it makes sure that we're routing it between the two correctly, which means like as we have bullish here and we route into bearish, it's going to make sure that we're not using more than the total amount. We're using that same shared amount. So if you disable this, it's just going to enter full steam ahead. So when we're in here, it's going to enter full steam. Here, it's going to enter full steam bearish, which again, here, full steam is correct. That's the way to do it. But if you wanted to enter partially here, that's why you enable the automatic. So I hope that makes sense. When you have the enable automatic buying power, it takes the buying power of the bullish and bearish and takes it as one, and it allocates between the two that amount. If it's not enabled, then each bot is like separate. The bullish and bearish are not looking at each other. Thanks. Yeah, of course. And all the details behind the execution of why we run this options bot portfolio, how it works, all that stuff. I know I covered it before, but all those trainings are inside of our private Discord channel or channel. It's all the same channel. Discord room, yeah, on our private channel called Oat Inner Circle, which you guys all have access to if you don't, you know. But all the trainings are in there. Again, I'm more than welcome to answer the questions here as well. So please ask if you guys have questions, but if you guys want to follow up later, it's there as well. Awesome. Any other final questions? Again, pretty chill day, really nothing to do. Again, we're waiting on time. If the market does push up higher because Iran becomes more certain, that would be good. We'll see a lot of our profits close, but for now, we're just waiting out time. Yeah. Let's see anything else. All right. I'll fill up some space here, let anyone else talk. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love doing these. It's just always great to recap the market, chat with you guys, and understand what's going on in your heads and making sure all the portfolios are good. We had George, Keelan, Maria, Robert, Trone, and Vera. So glad you guys were on here today. Covered a lot in a short amount of time. Yes, it's been about 20 minutes. So good amount of time, guys. I enjoy you spending your lunchtime with me. We'll do this again next Wednesday. Maria, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for letting me know. I got the bullish spot issue with the manual execution of an entry. I will look into that as soon as I end this call, and then I will email you or respond to the help tip you said. Either way, you will hear back from me in the next 30 minutes. Yep. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy it, and I will see you next Wednesday. Again, just one last reminder, if you guys need any questions in the meantime, feel free to email me. Feel free to use our Discord channel, and I'll respond to you guys as soon as I can.